We're your hosts, Amy and Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. Let's talk about why the time is now.
Why the time is now.
Say it with me.
Why the time is now. The time is now. It's funny because we talk about this all the time because we have this conversation every time when the time is now. And
yes.
It's an exciting period of time. And I think now with where we're at in this business and understanding the pieces and parts that go into it, now we really know the time is now.
Yes.
And, we were talking about it just on the way in here this morning and just kind of looking back at the 5 different salons we've owned, 5 different markets, 5 business transformations. What else? We had 5 salons that went from 0 clients, 0 employees to profitable in the first year, wildly profitable in the first year. We've got a pattern to it. And I think the 5 salons, I'll say 4 were businesses that we built. And one time we did try the salon suite.
Right.
You tried it.
We tried it.
I knew it wasn't going to work. You probably knew it wasn't going to work too.
You were on board for a minute too. Like we had a moment.
Like 1 minute.
We had a moment.
But again, not to knock on the suite, but
right.
I think when you and I talk numbers, I'm a very numbers driven person. Like I mentioned before, how much per station based on the number of stations.
Yes.
I like to do the technical analysis on the commercial properties that we're looking at. I like to look at all that stuff, the P&Ls, whatever. It's just
I
how
like
I'm wired.
numbers too.
Don't get me wrong. You like
In
the
the
number with the
dollars.
dollar signs next to it.
Yes, I like the dollar sign numbers
Yes.
for sure. I like them to go up and up.
But that was a big conversation
Yeah.
for us is if you're renting a chair or if you're in a salon suite, even if you are the best there ever was, you probably in less than a year will max out your earning potential.
Yes.
I think that was always the biggest deterrent for us is we love the opportunity to create, build, grow, scale, whatever you want to call it. There's nothing like it in the world that feels like taking something from a dirt floor to a bustling salon business. There's no feeling like it. And I always see the energy in you when that happens. Talk a little bit about you and I guess why we will never have a just chill salon again. It's always going to be focused on the growth and the creation of a new concept. How are you wired like that? What happened?
I don't know. I'm not wired to slow play, but also we know too much now.
Right.
I've done it too many times. Even just doing it one time, I wanted to do it again, right? It's not enough for me. Like I don't want to be stuck in a small room. And maybe you can have an assistant. Maybe you can have 2 if you do a double room. Then you're getting real crazy. But I don't want to cap out. I don't want to ever cap out. I've been in education before too. So I actually like building the team and growing together. So for me, you can see when I get home and we've had a booming day and everything goes well, I'm like, I'm on a high.
Champagne is coming out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's party. No, I'm actually exhausted, but I'm really happy.
Right.
I love it. I love to see the growth. It just makes it everything that we put out there and put into place. Like now it's coming full throttle here. And so I think like the suite was good for a minute and then it lost its luster. I wasn't proud of it anymore. I wasn't proud to go in my little room and open the door.
Right.
So that's why suites just don't work for me.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. So
Yes.
there's the capped earning potential. There is just, I know the one that really got you is not having your own sign. So if we're going to do our social media marketing, which is such an important aspect of any business, it really is a challenge to do that from when it's not your sign, when it says pick your salon suites or something like that, or it's someone else's salon name. When you're wired as a Salontrepreneur,
Yes.
you want that to be your logo. You want that to be about the idea and the vision that you have. When you're doing it for someone else, you're proud to contribute and have played that role before, but there's something for someone that wants to build and grow businesses that sign on the front of your building makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it means a lot, but it's also for your clients. We're always talking about how to navigate this and make sure that you have the best experience for your clients too.
Yeah.
When it's not your sign on the door, it's really hard for them to follow you and
Right.
find you. I mean, you're promoting that your salon, blah, blah, blah. And if they pull up and it says a suite, whatever kind of suite situation it is, they're not sure that you're in there or not. And they, yes, some clients are privy to that now. They know that there's suite rentals and all that, but not everybody is.
Right.
Actually, I would say the majority are not. Just talking from previous clients and all that kind of stuff, they're not used to it. That's not, when you say you own a salon and you're promoting that you own a salon, they're expecting your name to be out on the building. So, and when it's not, it makes it really difficult. And that for me was really hard to get used to.
Yeah. And again, it's a mindset. Some people do really well with it. Congrats to them. Maybe they're trying to dial back and they just say, I don't want the overhead of a salon or of employees or assistants. Fine. This is not the podcast for you.
No.
This is the podcast for motivated people that want to create a business, a legacy, an opportunity for themselves that won't get capped after your first couple of years in the industry. You mentioned the 30% only do hair after
2 years. Yeah.
After 2 years. I think that has a lot to do with it. And I think I've seen a fundamental shift in a lot of people wanting to be their own boss and go into a salon suite or another situation. I get that. I get the taking the overhead off. But at the same time, if you really look at long term, what are you trying to create for yourself? What are you trying to create for your family? This is the time now, especially with there being maybe a little bit more space open post, pandemic kind of stuff.
Right.
I really think that customers are going to want more in their experience. And we talk about this all the time. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they definitely want more. I mean, because the prices aren't always different,
Right.
Whether you walk into a suite or you walk into a bigger salon. I mean, a lot of times these are seasoned people too. So their prices are high, but their amenities are not, because they can only offer so much because they only have space for so much.
Right.
So that's a big thing for your client's experience. We don't understand people waiting when they want to do this, just because anytime we've waited, which was not much, but we waited maybe a year at one point or something like that, we should have started sooner. It was always like, why didn't we start sooner?
Yes. That's almost everything we've done in life. When we finally do it, some things we've maybe overanalyzed, and if we just trust our gut and we have a good plan, we execute on it now.
Yeah, so I think, we had people looking to purchase some of our salons, right? And they would come in and they're telling me, oh, I've waited 2 years, or I've been looking for 2 years now. And to me, that's waited. But I've been looking for 2 years, and I'm thinking, what are you looking for? You haven't found what you're looking for in 2 years.
Right.
Either you're not looking hard enough, or you're just not committed enough to do this.
Right.
And so they were wasting our time, their time. Again, I knew it wasn't going to be the right fit for them, because I certainly didn't want to bring in that person to a successful salon. I mean, they didn't have enough ambition, in my opinion, to just pull the trigger and do it. So, because you're thinking about the what ifs, like, oh, what if this, what if that? Like, you can't do that. You just can't think. I mean, you have to key those in and stuff like that a little bit. You have to have a background to go, what would I do on some of these situations? But that's not all we think about.
Right.
I mean, that's rarely what we think about.
Right. Well, and the difference is, this is why we started this consulting business and why we have the events that we have and the coaching that we have, because it can be a little daunting to begin with. And even after one, you're like, did I learn everything I could learn? And so we've seen, when we get engaged with a salon, we can help salon owners save 20, 30, 40 grand just based on the money that we've spent in a bad way in the past. I mean, we've had some hard learning experiences on things that have happened. And so we're really trying to empower people to step out. And if you are motivated to do it and you have a plan, you really should go after it, because you'll be in the same spot as us saying, why did I wait so long to do this? And again, I think a differentiator might be, if you do have a book of business, you're already further along
than we are.
It takes us 3 months to grow that
Totally.
clientele. Here, you may already have guaranteed cash flow that's already covering the expense of wherever it is you are.
Right.
If you have a plan and you have the support, we're lucky we have each other. We have a team.
Yes.
But it really is something that I think once you understand some of the nuance of it and how to really put a salon strategy together, it becomes a lot less daunting to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody can have a team. I mean, we are a part, we could be a team for somebody, right?
Yeah.
So everyone can have a team if they need it. It doesn't mean that you have to have a husband and wife or something like that. You can get a team, and I recommend that you do. Especially if you're nervous. That will take out a lot of the nerves.
Right.
When somebody is saying, no, I'm telling you, this is what you need to do. Trust us. We've done it quite a few times, and this is what you don't need to do yet. Because otherwise you might pull the trigger on a bunch of stuff that you didn't need to do yet. Wait until you build it up. And we're not always saying that you have to have a ton of cash in the bank, because we've not always been in that situation.
Right.
So there's ways around it. But, if you need the help, get the help. But do it already, waiting for it. And then years go by and time goes by, and then you're like, I wish I would have. Well, now I'm comfortable, so now I'm not going to. You'll never get to the success that you deserve.
Right. Or there's that spot that your salon should go, and every Sunday you go look in the windows at it, and you're like, yep, it's perfect.
Sure.
And then it's gone. Then something else goes in there, or another salon goes in. That's the real heartbreaker if somebody goes right in where you had dreamed that would go.
They jumped on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I think we talked about the financial aspect. I think there's an opportunity to this is how you create wealth for yourself. And a lot of people that are just you are behind the chair only. Now there's an opportunity, if you move into salon ownership and actually starting a salon, where now you can actually work on the business. And maybe over time, the clientele that you've worked so hard to build starts to transition and grow your business, so that all of a sudden, I don't want to keep doing hair for the next 10 years. I want to share the knowledge that I have. And that's one thing we talk about is a lot of people want to get into education. They get excited about it. You did education. Yes. Were really successful, traveled all over the world doing that. Took me to some awesome places. Thank you for that, by the way. That was really fun.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. But the education that you now bring to your salons, and that you were able to take from your experience as a stylist and then now bring that to your team, that's another area that really, it's an inexplicable feeling, because you can watch the growth, especially as we bring on young stylists and other things like that. That's a really cool part that a lot of people don't think about. Yes, there's a financial aspect, which we do focus quite a bit on.
Yes.
But the team and culture that we can build in our vision, that's a super powerful place to be.
Yeah, you spend more time with them than you do your family a lot of times, at your salon with your team. So make sure that it's the right fit. But also just building their skills up from all this experience that you might have is powerful, and it feels really good. I was in education, but now the education that I prefer doing is building my team up, building my business.
Right.
And putting it back into the business is way more important to me. I mean, education was fun, and I got a lot of knowledge from it, and met a bunch of amazing people. But I'm happy now that I can give that to someone else, the learnings that I have.
Right.
Yeah. And reap the rewards of the successful salon, and they reap the rewards too, right? Then they get more clients, and they get more confident from that knowledge too. So it all goes full circle, which is fun.
Yeah, definitely. No, I like the growth in education. And again, I think the third piece, besides the financial, the growing a team, the creating a culture, is still back to just creating something in your image, being able to take our learnings and each time build the salon of your dreams. It really is another thing to be able to, you can create the suite of your dreams. We did that.
Yes.
But it only provides so much. And so now to have that signage, the upside, the culture, the confidence, it's just a different deal for every time we've gone through this type of engagement. What do you think when you start looking at now actually building out a vision? In this case, we took a shell and did that. What is that mindset for you? And why is that such a difference from when we did do it for the suite, or when you were working for someone else for a very short period of time? I mean, what goes on there?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm always so excited to have my salon again, my business, my vision come true, and all the work that we put in. Now, it's not all highs, right? There's time. I'm not going to just be like, oh my gosh, I just love every aspect. No, there's some things that go wrong, or some things that they the builder can't do, or you're not allowed to do. So that's kind of a bummer, but it's short-lived. Yep. I mean, and then we have grown our businesses really fast, but even there's times, weeks, like a couple of weeks go by and slow. I'm like, oh my gosh, he'll hear me whine. And that is so short. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it is nothing, especially for us at this point. But, you know, so you'll have some moments like that, but just know they're moments. You know, it picks up so fast and so quick when you know what you're doing and you follow a plan.
Right.
And we have a really good plan at this point, so it's just been cake.
Right.
Well,
so and easy. your complaints that it's a slow week is you're not double booked nonstop for every hour that you're there.
Yes, and it's not even a slow week. I don't even think of, I mean, I haven't had a slow week here yet.
Right.
It's like a slow day.
And again, that's
like
just because you're not
day.
double booked. Like, you need to chill. You took half the day off. What did you expect?
I'm like, what?
Well, I wanted 3 people during that half day I was there.
Why didn't 10 people book today? I don't get it.
Right.
So,
but no, you're right. I mean, there are definitely obstacles to overcome, but I even though sometimes it's not maybe fun, so to speak, it's still problem solving, and it's still just if you're what's the word I'm trying to say? If you kind of get caught in just the same thing day after day, I go do my clients.
Oh, it's so boring.
I go home. I go do my clients, and I go home.
Yes.
Besides looking at, hey, the checking account probably looks pretty good. There's a lot of people successful that aren't starting businesses, but overcoming those problems, helping people, creating things in your vision, that stuff doesn't really factor in too much. I mean, it really doesn't. And compared to just a monotonous life or lifestyle with what you're doing, this is a much more exciting and energizing place to be because you can create every day. Yeah, some days the thing you're creating is a solution to a problem, but that's a lot more exciting than just being stuck in a rut with whatever your career path is. And we all face that no matter what the career is.
Doesn't matter.
Here, it keeps something that you can always have an impact on. And honestly, if you wanted to re-rack your whole salon, it's yours. So now we're going to move everything to the back. You know, you don't have to ask anybody about anything. It is your business.
And you have space to do it in.
Yep.
You know, and I used to have seasoned stylists that had, they would be doing the same thing every day. You know, they're like, why don't I get the new clients with the balayages and all this? Because they're stacked with retouches and haircuts. And of course, you don't want to get rid of those clients. They're good people. They're good clients. You have a relationship at this point. If you have a team that is your team and you have a bigger space, now you might be able to hand them off because they're still with you. They're still a part of your salon. So they're proud to be there. And you don't have to feel as bad, but maybe you can take and up your game and do some balayage, do some extensions, do whatever services that you were missing, you know, if you have a team that can support your existing clients.
Yep.
So then now everybody wins.
Right. Well, I think we've seen that clients will be cheerleaders. They like to see you succeed.
Yes.
They like to see people that take this kind of risk, but actually are successful with it. And what we really try to do is mitigate that risk, remove the risk, understand what all the pieces and parts are that you need to think about, and then assess if this is the right opportunity for you, for your family, for your future, all of that stuff. But I really do think people like people that go win and make it happen, like do that thing that they're passionate about, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people never actually make the move and take those kind of chances, and those that do usually end up in a much better spot and a much happier place.
Yeah, and if they don't want you to win, then honestly, you shouldn't want them as a client.
Right.
I mean, they're just, you know, they're maybe stuck in a rut or something, but you can't have that energy around you when you're trying to grow and change and do things. And you should evolve, right? Like, we shouldn't all stay in the same situation our whole lives without doing anything different. I mean, we all are growing and learning at the same time, and so we should show that, like, in your career as well. You know, so if you want to own a salon, you know, now is probably a good time, especially if you've thought about it multiple times.
Right.
Like, act on it. Do something to propel it. I mean, listen to our podcast. Get a mentor. Get something that makes you more confident if there's something holding you back.
Right.
But there's definitely a way to do it and to do it well. And so you're not in limbo for years or a year or two, and you're like, well, I'm not going to make any money. No, that shouldn't be the case, and that shouldn't be why you do it.
Right.
Because we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. Well, and again, we talk about this every day. I really think there is kind of a renaissance for salons here, and it's going to be great for clientele too, because I think more people are going to say, I can start a business, I can specialize, and I can create something. And so that's going to make services improve. That's going to make the customer experience improve, because you're going to have more empowered stylists that are now creating these great businesses. And again, you don't have to have the 20 stylist salon to be successful. You
But
can
you
have,
can.
you can,
But you
if that's
don't.
what you want to
But
do,
you can.
go
Yeah.
for it, and everybody's in a little bit different spot in their life, but I really do think there's a huge opportunity right now where instead of everybody transitioning into, a small space, there's an opportunity now to bring some life and some energy back to this art that you guys do. I mean, people care about, especially being, shut out of salons for a couple of years. Now more than ever, people are trying to get themselves back together. And I mean, in the first couple of weeks here, two times I was here working on stuff, I heard clients crying because they were so excited about the hair that you did, or adding a little bit of extension. I mean, it was transformative for them. And it's been that way for the decade that we built salons. I mean, some of the stories that you tell me, it is an art, it is a skill. And I feel like it's not being given the light that it deserves. And I think having more salon owners would definitely help bring it back to the place that I believe it should be.
No, I think so too. Like you said, it's an art. It's fun. Doing hair is fun. If you like to do it, obviously if you're in this industry, you should like to do it. But
I recommend liking what you do.
Yeah. Like doing hair. Otherwise, maybe not the career for you.
Maybe own a salon then and have a bunch of people that do like to do.
Yeah, and you can do that too. You can just do exactly what you want to do. You can work 1 day a week. I mean, those are the things that you can do. That's part of why we do it. I mean, I'm working more than 1 day a week, but I want to.
Right.
And I'll build my team around that too. And they'll, a lot of us go into this career because we like the flexibility. Mm-hmm. I mean, and at the beginning, a lot of times you don't get flexibility. You're trying to build your clientele and do all that kind of stuff. So, but if you can help your team have that flexibility, they'll stay with you in the long run too.
Right.
And everybody's happy then.
Until they listen to this podcast.
Until then they're like, I'm going to go start my own salon.
I need to do this.
Darn it backfired. No, we want that. And we're not scared of that. And that's why when I hire, I just want to know, what do you want? What is the long term? And, they should get what they want. I've gotten what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So it's nothing, nobody should take it personal, right? Like, I'm not going to take it personal if I build up a stylist and they end up wanting their own salon. Hopefully I can help them. Right. Hopefully they'll come to me and feel safe, like it's a safe zone that I can go and help them do that too. So well, I'm at a different level now.
If your business is reliant on one stylist and her book of business, you're in trouble anyway. So we've never, again, we want more people to aspire to do that. And if we can help create that space that finally gets people over the hump, like we've gotten each other over the hump in a variety of different businesses, now is the time. I really do think now is the time. There's a lot of great spaces available. Yeah. Start doing the research. Start getting excited.
If you want it. Now, being a stylist at a salon there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But if you want it, then you should go get it. Yeah. You can have it. Is kind of what we're saying. Yeah. Why not?
Cool. I don't think we can say it any other way.
I don't either. We don't need to.
If you want it, get it done.
Get
it done.
Do it. Don't wait 2 years. Do it.
Don't wait 2 years. Don't kick the can.
No, it's a waste of time.
Let's go. I feel like starting another salon today. Let's go start one somewhere.
I do not right now.
I mean, I saw a really nice spot to lease about 2 miles from here.
This is what he does. This is what happens.
I pulled up LoopNet just to talk about it a little bit, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. This looks great.
Right. I might go, oh, the salon sounds cool. And then he's like, boop, boop, boop. Here's 10. Which one? No, not quite, but kind of.
We're kind of wired like that. Kinda, you should be too. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the Salontrepreneur podcast. We'll see y'all soon.
Later.